So, the Oscars were last night. I said I was going to make a recap video after the nominations video I made the other day. I've been looking forward to making it, and I wrote down a few notes, and I have a few things I want to talk about. Hopefully you'll share my opinions, or we'll be able to differ in the comments, anything really, to just keep talking about this event. Now, first, I want to talk about the most talked about point of the whole night, which was when Warren Beatty screwed up saying who won Best Picture. Now, people are saying that this is staged because the Miss Universe thing, I think it was 2 years ago, was staged. I don't believe that. What I believe happened is that there's always extras of each envelope made for either side, for determining on whichever side the presenter comes out of. So what I'm thinking is, because I believe it was Leo DiCaprio already announced that Emma Stone won, and he grabbed the winner from that particular side. Warren Beatty accidentally grabbed, or was accidentally given, the other extra envelope from the other side. That's just what I think, and I think that's what's most likely happened, but it could really be anything. I mean, maybe it could be just trying to stir up some controversy, just trying to get some headlines. I don't see why it would, because, I mean, the Academy Awards are one of the most watched award shows on television. But yeah, Best Picture, I had a whole list of predictions, which you can check out. It's on my channel. It's the video I made before this. And I said that Moonlight was going to win, but at the very last minute, I was just thinking, like, if La La Land wins, I'd be just as satisfied, if not more satisfied. When they said La La Land, I was actually very excited, because Damien Chazelle is considered to be, like, the hottest new director in Hollywood. La La Land is his second film ever, his first being Whiplash. I haven't seen Whiplash, but I've heard very good things about it. It's been on my watch list for a while. And so, but then when Warren Beatty, or whoever came out, I believe it was Jimmy Kimmel, I actually think it was the La La Land producer, you can go and check the video, it's everywhere, says that it's actually Moonlight. I just thought it was a joke, but then he reads the card, and I'm like, wow, this is a really elaborate joke that they're going on a bit too far, and then he says this is no joke, there was actually a mix-up. And I just felt so bad, because the producer, he was in the middle of the speech, and yeah, it was uncomfortable to watch. It was really too bad. I felt really bad for the La La Land people. I'm happy for the Moonlight people, and I feel like the fact that Moonlight is about gay black boys and it deals with all these minority groups and stuff is what gave it a slight edge. And also Hollywood has this tendency to lean towards movies about Hollywood, and I feel like they just wanted to break that stereotype. Maybe. I'm not sure. Personally, I enjoyed La La Land more than Moonlight. I thought La La Land I'm going to probably watch more as time goes on. I want to see Moonlight again. I want to see La La Land again, but I gave Moonlight a 9 out of 10, and La La Land, I honestly, it could change, but I gave it a 10 out of 10. I had very little problems with it. Anyway, on to Damien Chazelle winning Best Director. Now, originally, because I saw Moonlight first, I thought Barry Jenkins was going to win, because he was very good at directing characters, whereas Damien Chazelle, he was good at directing groups of people. If you've seen La La Land, the opening scene, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But no, they're both great directors, but I feel like Damien Chazelle, being as young as he is, and just having complete control over it, he was writing, directing, I believe he even produced a little bit. Well, anybody who really has their hand in a movie is always sort of a producer. I mean, some movies have dozens upon dozens of producers, but whatever. Casey Affleck winning Best Actor in a Leading Role. I have not seen Manchester by the Sea. I had the opportunity to see it, but instead I saw The Founder with Michael Keaton. maybe it was a regrettable decision, but whatever. Eventually, I will see Manchester by the Sea. Being from Massachusetts, it's always cool to see movies that take place in Massachusetts because there's not a whole lot that take place here. When they are, they're most of the time good. I mean, Good Will Hunting, The Departed, Mystic River, and so on. So, I mean, Casey Affleck's a great actor, so probably was a good decision. I said Ryan Gosling maybe because of all the stuff he went through to make the film, like learning piano the way he did and that sort of thing, but I don't know. I just want to also say, just a disclaimer, this was a fault that I definitely suffered from. If you have not seen a lot, or at least a few, of a movie in a specific category, do not put a nomination down for that category if you're into doing nominations for a certain category. I know that some people just like to fill in the blanks, which I did too. There were certain ones like Best Documentary Short Subject, that I didn't put anything down for because I didn't see any short documentaries. Because documentaries and short films are very hard to come by, because most of them are made by student filmmakers, and I mean those guys are broke. They can't afford to put their movies in theaters, and it's not like the old days where they used to show a short film or anything like that before a feature film. So eventually, a lot of them are put on Netflix. I remember World of Tomorrow, which was an animated short film, was put on Netflix. I saw it and I thought it was great. It was nominated either last year or the year before. So eventually Netflix, they like to be on top of this and stream a few. They put The White Helmets, which I think won Best Documentary, or Best Documentary Short Subject. I'm not too sure. That's on Netflix right now, so if you have Netflix, go check it out. Let's see. Down the Emma Stone winning Best Actress, I think it was great. I was very surprised that she also is great at singing, even though she's primarily an actress. Maybe she had singing lessons just for this movie. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked into it. But no, she definitely was great at acting and singing, which was great. She definitely wore many hats. I put Naomi Harris down for supporting role, but that went to Viola Davis. I have not seen Fences, but I saw her in, what was it called, Doubt, and she's a great actress. I've seen her in a few other things before. And yeah, no, she, it seems like it was good, or she was good. Original screenplay went to Manchester by the Sea. I put it down for La La Land. Again, you only know as much as you're exposed to, so a lot of them I just put down for movies that I did see, and I did see a decent amount. I saw Sully, I saw Arrival, I saw La La Land, I saw Moonlight, but there were a few like Fences and Manchester by the Sea that I wish I did see. So that won. Best Adapted Screenplay, Moonlight. Moonlight is a well-written movie, and that won, which was great. Best Original Score went to La La Land, which I was surprised. I mean, the score is good, but it didn't stick out, probably because it's a musical. It just went hand in hand. Best Original Song went to City of Stars, which City of Stars is a great song, but I thought the audition song from La La Land was going to win. That was the one shown in all the trailers and stuff. It was my favorite from the film. Best Cinematography went to La La Land, which was good. It had a lot of the Hollywood, like violets and purples and things like that. And it's a well-shot movie and a lot of great camera pans and movements, things like that. Best Visual Effects, I was really hoping for Rogue One, but it went to The Jungle Book. And it was mainly because I was hoping that Star Wars would finally win another Oscar since they haven't since Return of the Jedi, and even that was a Special Achievement Award. It wasn't like a legit winner. And that's another thing, that when you're doing an Oscar nominations list, always put the things that you think are going to win, not the ones you hope are going to win. Sound editing went to... forget went to that. I didn't write down the winners. I'm just on IMDb right now, but Hacksaw Ridge won Best Sound Mixing, which I did see Hacksaw Ridge. It's a great film, but the thing that I thought was great was the sound mixer, Kevin O'Connell, finally won, and this was his 21st nomination and his first win. That was the most in history up until that point, of the most nominations in history with no wins. And finally he was able to win his Oscar, which was great. And I'm glad that people like that are appreciated. I mean, people always complain about Leo DiCaprio when he didn't win his Oscar, but when you think about like sound mixing and sound editing of the main categories, it's definitely on the lower list for feature films. It's definitely low on the list. Best film editing went to Hacksaw Ridge. I thought that when I saw it, because war films typically have a lot of cuts. There's a lot going on, and they need to show a whole lot, which was great. Best makeup and hairstyling went to Suicide Squad. Now, I did see Suicide Squad. You can see my review on that if you want, but frankly, I do not like Suicide Squad, and I was disappointed that we have to call that film an Oscar-winning film now. And one of my friends brought up a point to me. He said Suicide Squad now has more Oscars than The Shawshank Redemption. I said yes, but it also has more Razzie nominations. So take that for what it's worth. Best animated feature went to Zootopia, probably because of all the political subtext, that sort of thing. I thought it was going to be for Kubo and the Two Strings. Again, you have to vote for what you think is going to win, not for what you hope is going to win. Probably because I really like stop motion films, and that's why I got that I put that down as my nomination. I haven't seen any animated films this year because I don't really... It's just not something that I watch a whole lot. But I hope to see Moana and Kubo especially. I'm considering getting the Blu-ray Kubo because the behind the scenes looked very cool. Best documentary went to O.J. Made in America. I thought because of all the political subtext and stuff like that it was going to win. And it did, which was great. And just other things like best short film and best foreign language film. I did put down nominations. I don't know what won, or at least I wasn't able to get them. But those are definitely things that aren't really accessible to modern American audiences unless you frequently go to art house movie theaters or film festivals, things like that. Now, overall, I thought that everything was fine as terms of the awards, but the actual show was, I say, wasn't as good as last year. Now, I'm not one to critique like TV specials and ceremonies and shows like that, but it just felt a little bit underwhelming, and they did a lot of political jokes and things like that. A lot were funny. The Jeff Bezos joke was pretty cool. Jeff Bezos, whatever. It was cool that he was there, representing Manchester by the Sea. But a lot of the Donald Trump jokes got a bit stale, and the one joke where it was like raining candy, after the third time, it sort of got a bit like unfunny. Jimmy Kimmel was a fine host, but he wasn't anything special. I feel like Chris Rock was one of the better ones in recent years. I think the Girl Scout thing he did last year was very funny. Some of the commercials were pretty cool. The Rolex one was cool. How they didn't just talk about Oscar-nominated or winning films. They showed things like Dirty Harry and Death Wish, the what's his name, Charles Bronson film, and Marathon Man, and The Deer Hunter, and all these cool modern and classic films, which is very cool. The Casey Neistat commercial was very cool. How he's just a YouTuber, and he's been doing Samsung Oscar stuff for the past couple of years, and the whole thing was basically like, I feel like was just kind of a kickstart for the next generation of filmmakers, because a problem that I see, take this for what it's worth, it's just me talking, but the problem I see with a lot of modern filmmakers is they think, oh, I'll just garnish a fan base on YouTube and then move on from there. The problem being is that a lot of them stay YouTubers, or they're typecasted as YouTubers. For example, Lucas Cruikshank is Fred. He wanted to move on so badly. He sold the Fred name and all that, but he'll always be known as the kid who made Fred, which is too bad. And Casey Affleck is basically making the point to studios and to even young filmmakers that like anybody can really make a really good film, which is true, but like I said before, it's just very like back in the day in the 80s and stuff, when people would make things like The Evil Dead and things like that, they would try to get them theatrically released. Whereas now, people would just put them on YouTube or wherever for free, maybe sell DVDs, but get a lot of ad revenue. Which is fine, but it has people becoming less filmmakers and more just video makers. At least that's what I took from it. So that's my recap of last night's Oscar showing. If you have any other inputs, feel free to say whatever in the comments. And yeah. See you next year.